Hello and welcome to Two Trees Gaming. Myself and Lou were invited to Leicester Square in late November and we watched the War of the Rohirrim film then, and we can finally talk about it. So we're going to give you a little review. Needless to say, there will be spoilers. If you don't want to know our opinions going into the film or any little tidbits, just stop watching now. You can come back and watch it later and see how much you disagree with us. We're also going to be watching it or talking about it from the viewpoint of Middle-earth strategy battle game players. And you'll see the first part of the review is just going to be me talking to the camera, talking about the film. And the second part of the review will be me and Louis, as soon as we've left the cinema in Leicester Square, just having a little walk around and giving some really initial thoughts. If you've seen some of the leaks that have come out from the new book, a lot of the things we're talking about while walking around Leicester Square have already been tackled, and you can just laugh at how wrong we are, or maybe how right we are, in our opinions of what the profiles might look like and what models we might get. But without further ado, here's our review of the War of the Rohirrim. If you don't want spoilers, stop watching now. I think it's important I give a bit of context because you may just disagree with my opinions anyway. My favourite of the Middle-earth films is The Return of the King. No matter what Aaron and Louis say, Louis likes Two Towers, Aaron likes Fellowship of the Ring. Our communal least favourite is The Battle of Five Armies. I do enjoy Rings of Power, although mainly for the Celebrimbor story. I can tell so many people just stopped watching when I said I enjoy Rings of Power. Mainly for the Celebrimbor story and a little bit the dwarves. I really don't need any of the Harfoots or Gandalf or how he found his staff. Not interested in any of that. And in terms of anime, I've watched the very, very first series of Pokemon and Spirited Away, and that's pretty much it. So I did go into the film with a bit of trepidation, but an open mind. And the last thing I should say before we go into the full review is that me seeing it early has got nothing to do with the channel. Our real job is in cinema, and we were invited out by Warner Brothers at the end of November to a massive IMAX in Leicester Square. There were about 12 of us in there. It was honestly such a great experience. But nothing to do with the channel, it's just a happy byproduct. So, does the film feel like Lord of the Rings? That's the most important question for me. Yes, it feels like Lord of the Rings. It feels like Peter Jackson's Middle-earth. From the opening 10 seconds, you're getting a little shot of a map that turns into some scenery, and then you're in it. It takes a minute to get used to some of the characters and the fact that the voices aren't dubbed properly, but honestly, you're straight back into Middle-earth. It's excellent. And what a great choice Rohan was, because we get to see a few familiar locations. Not going to ruin everywhere we see, but I think it was a great choice. If we'd gone to Arnor, maybe it would have felt a bit more generic fantasy. But here you're seeing Helm's Deep and Edoras and maybe some other places, and you're straight back to 2002. You feel like you're watching the Two Towers again. And the music just catches you, and honestly, you're back in Middle-earth. That to me was one of the most important things, and it feels like Peter Jackson's Middle-earth as well, not just Rings of Power Middle-earth, which is fine, but it hasn't got Howard Shore's music. This uses the music and builds on it, and things you take for granted like the instrumentation or the fact it is scored throughout is very Lord of the Rings like. So the music, 100% spot on. The landscapes are incredible. The characters are excellent. There's a few little bits where some of the weapons are oversized and some of the characters maybe carry things that would be too heavy for them. It's a little bit jarring at first. They're a little bit Legolasified. They can jump from a great height, land and carry on running. That's all part and parcel of it being an anime, I think. And there are elements of the over-the-top nature of the story that lend themselves to it being an anime, and I think this was a really, really good choice of first foray into the anime world of Tolkien. It's not made me want to go out and watch Attack on Titan or other animes, but it has made me want more Middle-earth films in this style. Definitely wasn't off-putting, and I think actually a lot of the story beats lent itself to being in this medium. I also really appreciated that it wasn't playing too much on the original films. There's a few locations like Edoras, like I've already said, and they have a line every now and again. Somebody might say, oh, you have my sword and my honor, something like that. But it's not, this is how Gandalf found his hat, and this is how Bilbo found his red waistcoat. None of that. A lot of that is damaged franchises like Star Wars for me, and Rings of Power has been doing it a little bit with how Gandalf gets his staff, and I just want an original, compelling story, and this film provides that. And I am just going to go into the story a little tiny bit now, or a lot, depending on your opinion. So do stop watching if you don't want any spoilers at all. The story itself feels very much split into two parts. The first half of the film is exactly what I was expecting, but just exceeded my expectations in every way. There's political intrigue at the start, there's good amounts of action. The whole first half of the film vastly exceeded my expectations, and the film does feel like it's split into two. The second half of the film went in a tangent I wasn't expecting. I know the key story beats, but I don't know the lore inside out. I am very much an enthusiast and very much film first. I'm not an expert, and I didn't want to spoil the film for myself. But it went in a direction I wasn't expecting. Maybe the book lovers will expect that, but that's with my Middle-earth strategy battle game glasses on. I'm looking for huge battles with loads of new models and units and what might be joining the game in the future. I think if you've read the leaks now, you probably know what's coming, and it actually might be to your advantage to just sit and enjoy the film and not worry. I was thinking, oh, we've got a scoop. We know that this model is going to be turning up and that model is going to be turning up. When actually, I'd probably been better just sitting and enjoying the film for what it was, and it was excellent. I'm wanting to see it again, which is probably the highest praise I can give it. It doesn't feel right going into any more detail right now. I know that this is a review and people will be looking for spoilers, but I want people to go out to the cinema, enjoy it on the big screen. It's a big screen film. There's a lot going on. Definitely go watch it at your local independent cinema. And then maybe we'll talk about it again in future. If I had to rank it in there with my Return of the King at the top and my Battle of Five Armies at the bottom, it's probably somewhere alongside Desolation of Smaug and Unexpected Journey, which is a perfectly good place to be. There's definitely so much they can build on. The voice cast was excellent. The characters are compelling. Helm's family in particular, I really enjoyed those. And Wolf has got an excellent little story arc. There's lots and lots to love about this film. The art style is incredible. The music's amazing. And basically, you're going to see in just a second how much me and Louis enjoyed it, because as soon as we walked out the cinema, we put the camera on, and we're just buzzing to see Middle-earth on the big screen again. And that's what you get from this. It is Middle-earth. That is the most important thing. You go in, it's more Middle-earth on the big screen. So we're going to have a chat walking around Leicester Square about how we think it might affect the game. Again, a lot of it's been leaked. We're going to be proven right and wrong in a lot of cases. There'll be a few more little spoilers. That's all I'll say, but thoroughly enjoyable. And don't forget, if you're getting the new edition, to go to the Baron of Dice for all your dice needs. We absolutely love our Patreon exclusive Two Trues Gaming dice. There's loads of other similar dice on there that are perfect for Middle-earth. Go check them out. But here's mine and Louis' initial reactions to the War of the Rohirrim walking around Leicester Square on the 21st of November. So it's November 21st. Obviously, War of the Rohirrim is out on the 13th of December. And we've just come out of the big IMAX cinema. There was, how many of us in there? 12? 12 people.
1,000 seats.
Biggest screen in the world. And we've just watched War of the Rohirrim, and it was amazing.
So good.
It's so good.
First and foremost, the film itself was awesome.
Awesome.
Absolutely loved it. You dive straight in, opening scene, the music, the visuals, you just straight back in Middle-earth.
Yeah. And I don't want to be all cinema operator, but you want to see it on the big screen.
Yeah.
Actually go support your independent cinema, and it's got the music, the art style's incredible.
Awesome.
Absolutely love it. But let's talk about how we think it might affect our game then.
Yeah, so firstly, the models that have been released so far are so like in keeping with the film. Like they look exactly as you'd expect them to look. Like the anime style is anime, but very, very Middle Earth, and like
It took a few tiny bits of like, oh, that horn's bigger or the hammer's bigger, but very little of it, and it really, really does feel like you're straight back in Middle Earth, doesn't it? It takes 5 minutes to get used to, and then you're like, I'm here. You just give me more Middle Earth.
Yeah, 100%. Okay.
Right. Talk me through your Hera profile.
Hera obviously got the named horse, and she's clearly the fastest rider in the Riddermark. It says
that in the film.
So I'm wondering, is she going to get a 12-inch move?
Yeah.
Which would be awesome. And a fate?
On the
I'd
horse.
love to see that, because that was my biggest bugbear with it. Ale, wasn't it? I always thought if Shadowfax is getting a fate, I felt like, so maybe a fate on the horse would be cool.
Yeah, I that's exactly what I would do with that. And would you go for like a
let's get closer to those nosy bells.
I know. I don't know what it was. Would you go for a like Asphaleth can charge through woodland terrain?
Yeah.
And then in terms of her actual profile, then bearing in mind we don't know the full extent of like
the fight value rearrangement, but at current edition.
So who'd you compare it to?
I would sit along some kind of Aomer standard profile.
Yeah.
Maybe one less defense because she's not wearing a lot of armor.
Yeah.
Most of the time. But I'm thinking 3 attacks.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with that.
Fight 5, strength 4.
Yeah.
D5.
Now maybe like in a one-on-one, you can make the opponent re-roll a dice like
Rohirrim.
Yeah, that was good. Okay. Helm Hammer Hand.
Oh,
Helm Hammer Hand.
so cool.
We're not going to spoil too much, but he is going to see a bit of action.
Yeah, definitely.
In his armor. The question about Helm is, does his current profile fit him?
In a way, yeah.
Oh, that's a big call. I was coming hard down on the other side.
Because obviously, without giving spoilers away, you do see him in some action, and he does mow down some guys.
I'm thinking both with hammer and hands in wraith mode, he's going to be getting a D3 wounds.
Yes, well, I was thinking
about what he's fighting against.
Hammer's getting mighty blow.
Oh yeah, which is why Helmet as well.
And we know already Haleth is getting export shot though.
Hammer's getting no, he's got pinpoint shot or something. Haleth and Hammer have leaked at this point. I don't think either have got mighty blow. So
oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, I've not read the leaks.
You've not read the leaks, have you? So let's not go there. But,
not mighty blow.
I don't think so. I can't remember. Yeah, for me, he's same basic stat line, different specials.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He's getting definitely he's causing terror in some level.
Yeah,
and he's a banner and is potentially mighty blow, that kind of thing. But not a 3-point of might and a 3 hero combat per turn. He's a different kind of character in this. I'll be sad to see the back of the old Helm model.
Agreed.
But I'm very happy that they'll be replaced with this. So Olwen's the only other one we've not properly discussed.
We see her in some action. I think she's going to get an Earlass style special where she can shield but still make a strike.
Oh, maybe yeah.
Because she's using the shield. She is a shield maiden, so I think that'd be good.
I wonder if she might be knocking people over with a shield or something like that. She's a bit more aggressive than Irelas. Irelas is holding, defending, whatever. No, she's getting stuck in with the shield. So I'm thinking maybe even like a Lurt style throwing shield, or Shagrat style knock people over.
Yeah, that Shagrat.
I'm thinking the Shagrat one, especially because we know the Shagrat model's going.
Yeah,
that fills that void. We do need to talk about the other models that people are expecting.
Okay. Yeah, because there's been talk of
Farharad, Variags,
and Eastlings,
that kind of
orcs,
stuff.
All sorts. I was like pen and paper at the ready with a list of new releases we're going to get over the coming weeks. But we have seen most of it.
Yeah,
we have seen most of it.
What I anticipate is one big launch pre-Christmas with the main characters in plastic in the starter set. And then another big launch when it releases on streaming kind of thing. Yeah. Kind of 2 big drops and that's it, kind of done.
Yeah. I mean, obviously there's lots of other things implied, and I don't know whether, obviously the non-filmy stuff has gone to legacy for the original films. That's not to say they're not going to go off at a tangent. Oh, we're going to go there.
Why did you cross the middle of the road?
Oh, man. there's a 3-second feature.
This is
just featured heavily. Spoiler. Where there is some sort of siege equipment atop the battlements of Edoras.
Yes. On the whole, I think it's really, really good for the game.
There's so many adult chops.
We ended up right. On the whole, it's really good for the Middle Earth strategy battle game.
It was awesome. Go see it.
It was awesome.
Amazing.
Go watch it. Go watch it. You're an independent local cinema.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.